So a white person like Only Jayas, who was racist, people forgot quickly what she did. There are white people on this app, and we've seen it time and time again, and I don't want people to say, why do you always make it about race? Because it is. They want to take someone's platform away, like Roach Chula literally wants to take the voice away from someone who was a victim of Leslie.
Tophiachu and her family have been drowning in controversy, and they are not handling it well at all. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Blu.frenchi, and today we are talking about the one, the only Tophiachu. Let's continue. Today we're going to be talking about three different things. The first thing we're going to be diving into is Tophiachu's recent streak of animal abuse. For some reason, she's completely neglecting the actual responsibilities that it takes to properly take care of another living being, and this can all be traced back to her initial dog that tragedy struck, Hunter. The second thing we're going to be taking a look at is actually Tophiachu's father, Papachu, and all the controversy he's been getting into lately. Papachu, for some reason, can't seem to stay out of controversy. Today we're going to be looking at a body cam video where law enforcement end up visiting his place of residence and arresting him for, get this, felony kidnapping. Yeah, it's a pretty wild ride. Last but not least, the last thing we're gonna be looking at is Tophiachu's two recent responses to a couple of the controversies that she actually put herself into earlier this year. As always, I always want to remind you guys that I am a brand new commentary channel, and I started commentary not too long ago. So this is literally all I do. So if you guys want to give me some type of encouragement and help, please like and subscribe and leave me some type of constructive criticism comment, because I always read the comments and I love reading your guys's. But as always, enjoy the video. Let's hop in it. For the people that actually don't know who Tophiachu is, she's a prolific TikTok poster that gained initial notoriety from her cringy content and her detrimental accusations, ranging from scamming her actual fans all the way to pedophilia accusations. Yeah, more on that later. But if you've actually been following Tophiachu for any period of time, you would understand that she actually has a beautiful, amazing dog named Hunter. Hunter initially gained notoriety by showing up through Tophia's lives.
Tophia put peanut butter on her pot to Hershey would lick it. Okay?
Mom, you're gonna get me in trouble.
I forgot about your life.
Mom, you guys gotta stop causing me problems.
Get on all fours. I have saggy tits.
As soon as Hunter became a thing within that life, her whole audience fell in love with her, absolutely adored her. Personally, I did too. That was one of the reasons I actually started following Tophiachu in the first place, was because of her dog. Everybody loved Hunter so much. As a matter of fact, when rumors started to spread around TikTok that Tophia actually was neglecting to take care of Hunter in the proper way, everybody got scared. There was some serious accusations floating around TikTok that Tophiachu would not only force Hunter to pee in empty McDonald's cups that she had lying around, but she would completely neglect to take Hunter out, eventually inevitably forcing him to defecate on the floor. And I'm pretty sure you can understand what happens when a dog repeatedly defecates on the floor. It's a shitty time. Understanding this, I was extremely upset. I was like, how can you want to take care of another living being and then completely neglect all its necessities? I was like, I wanted to kill it. At the same time, in my head, I understood. I was like, you know what? It's not the end of the world. You can still fix it. You can still fix the situation. You can still better yourself and start taking care of Hunter in the proper way that you should. I held this mentality so tight. I held it all the way up until I actually found out that she lost Hunter. She lost her dog.
What's that? Why am I guilty by association? That's annoying. And then the one person, he was like, well, I think you unalived your dog. What? That's crazy. I tried everything I could to save my dog, and she's missing. And this is why I didn't come to the internet, because nobody helps me. I love my dog. I had her for 7 years. It's not fair, and it's every time they celebrate. My poor dog is missing, and no one has been helping me. And they literally said they was gonna kidnap my dog. That's why I didn't come to the internet, for safety reasons. And it hurts because I have to hear that over and over again. Replaying in my head that I believe you unalived your dog. I didn't do anything to my dog. I was literally on the phone with my online friend. I as she was helping me with my dog.
I follow the actual relationship between Hunter and Tophiachu a little closely, so I can give a little context in here. But the actual relationship between Hunter and Tophiachu was not good at all. It was actually very volatile. It was not uncommon to actually hear Hunter growling and barking at Tophia during her live stream. So understanding how they had this volatile relationship on top of the fact that Tophiachu neglected all his necessities, for me, it's no surprise that as soon as he saw the ounce of freedom, he took it. Because as much as I don't want to say that he's having a better life now that he's gone, he's more likely to probably have a better life outside of the Tophiachu house than inside the Tophiachu house.
And it's not fair. And those people have their dog walking free, and there's nothing I can do about it. I called the lawyer and he said, we'll call you back to see if we can help you. He didn't call me back. The lady in the office didn't care. Those people fled. They left with their dog. They have their dog. So that dog can do it again because it's not on a leash. And the lady was walking around dancing with headphones in from the office like everything's okay. Oh, what does your dog look like? We already told you. You had an attitude, fucking attitude, when we told you my dog went missing because of someone else.
Similar to probably all of you right now, I was very upset. I was extremely baffled on how you possibly can lose a dog. There was a lot of rumors actually floating around TikTok of the actual reason of why Hunter might not be in Tophiachu's videos anymore, ranging from her or one of her family members accidentally leaving the door open and Hunter running out, all the way to Tophiachu putting down Hunter because she doesn't want to deal with him anymore. Either way, no matter what the actual factual reason that Hunter isn't in the videos anymore, he's not in the videos anymore. And the excuse and reason that Tophiachu is giving everybody else is the fact that she lost Hunter. In my head, this type of behavior shows a complete lack of responsibility and understanding of what it takes to actually take care of another living being. So in my head, this was the wake-up call for her to not own any more pets. This should have been the straw that broke the camel's back to show her that as much as she wants to own another living being, you literally physically and mentally cannot handle it. So a situation like this would tell a normal person to not own any more pets. And if you guessed that Tophiachu never owned another pet, never abused another animal, and lived happily ever after, well, I want to ask you, what are you smoking and can I have it? Because it sounds good. A little time later, after losing Hunter, she ended up fostering a kitten. She ended up fostering another animal that she thinks she could take care of.
Move over. I put some dog food in there. It still doesn't smell. Can't do that because
Put him in.
Everybody, and I mean everybody, was upset and surprised when they found out that Tophia actually had another animal in her care, seemingly because everybody except for Tophia herself was still upset about her losing Hunter. For me, it's amazing on how literal strangers can be more attentive to the animals that you have in your own care. But when her audience actually found out that she was taking care of a kitten, everybody went into overdrive and alerted the proper authorities to actually forcibly rehome the kitten because absolutely nobody trusted her with another living animal. When I first saw the situation, I was thinking, how can you possibly not be able to take care of an 11-year dog that you've had for a very long time, but you can actually take care of a baby kitten that you've only had for a week? Losing Hunter showed her initial inability to actually take care of any animals in a proper way, but her adopting a kitten right after losing Hunter only shows her lack lack of respect and straight not caring of the actual responsibilities that it takes to take care of another living being. She simply doesn't care about how she affects other things. She only cares about the current happiness that this thing, that this object gives her. After this kitten was taken away, it was a while before any rumors started to spread around of Tophia actually owning another animal. But it is rumored that after Tophiachu ended up losing the kitten, sometime after she quote unquote started watching a pit bull for her brother's ex-girlfriend. And if any of you actually know the situation between the brother and his ex-girlfriend, it is a completely toxic, straight corrosive situation. So if you were to think about the situation for even a second, you would start to ask yourself, why would somebody willingly give somebody with animal abuse accusations currently coming out, why would they willingly give them their animal to watch over? It makes absolutely no sense. And the way Tophiachu was trying to portray the whole situation, she just made herself look even worse. Tophiachu's non-stop abuse of animals is something I will never understand. It just seems like she is so consistent in controversies that she can't get out of them. But you know another person that is actually deep diving in controversies and can't seem to get away from them?
Papachu.
Papachu is Tophiachu's father. He initially gained notoriety through his controversial appearances through Tophiachu's TikTok lives. If anybody's been following Tophiachu even for a little bit, you would understand that Papachu is a very abusive and neglectful father, constantly berating Tophiachu and putting her down for unnecessary things. One of these controversies actually ended up following him back all the way to his apartment, because we're about to look at a body cam video of law enforcement visiting his house for, get this, a
Felony kidnapping.
Now, we actually don't know who is accusing him of kidnapping. The cops won't give up that information. But from what the video is initially telling us is that along with the felony kidnapping, somebody reported Papachu in need of a mental health crisis check. And I want to believe more than likely that the cops ended up using that potential of mental health check to get the Tophiachu family comfortable enough in order to get Papachu out of the apartment. Because let me tell you, he did not want to come out. He didn't want to go with the cops.
This department, Donald Sr.? Yes. See, yeah, this all started because they do live media, they're streamers, and they're online a lot, and you know how it gets. You get up there to that status, everybody just starts, you have the good people and you have the bad people. And the people that want to, constantly hate, and they want to just be like that type of person to just like always be involved in business and try to look at the address and stuff, and throw a bunch of stuff away. Like, we get constant, welfare checks, once a week. And people just call and make false reports.
Okay. Well, I just need to make sure he's okay. I mean, if he's...
He isn't gonna come out. I'm afraid of
So, we do need to talk to him. Whether he's willing to come out, we're not going to leave. So we'll have to figure something out, Okay. I would rather him cooperate, or you guys cooperate and let's come in. I don't want him to fight with you though.
I don't know what you can try to come in, but like I said, I don't know if he'll fight with us or not. But
okay,
he's just scared of the police in general.
Okay,
and that's just his mindset.
Donald, I need you to come out, okay? Police department, you're being detained after your leave. You have a did? For the police department, you have a warrant for your arrest. I need you to step out, okay?
Come over here, Donald.
I can't do that.
You have a warrant.
I can't do that, sir.
You do not comply, force will be used against you. This is the Albuquerque Police Department. We're police officers. You are under arrest. You're not free to leave, okay? We need you to comply with us. We don't want to have to use force against you.
I'm under arrest
40,
for what?
40.
You have a
warrant for your arrest. For what?
kidnapping.
For kidnapping. For kidnapping who?
I don't know.
We'll talk about it, okay? But for right now, take your hands out of your pockets and step forward.
I need to put my pants on.
Donald, you need to follow our commands. You need to come out now. If you don't follow our commands, force may be used against you. Again, we're officers with APD. We need you to follow our commands and we can ensure your safety. But at this point, you're not free to leave. If you don't follow our commands, force is going to be used and we don't want to hurt you. Do you understand?
Show me your hands, Donald.
Donald, I need you to step out and come with us. Please do it cooperatively. Your family's outside in the cold. Okay. Thank you.
It's in your hands, Donald.
Face away from us. Stop right there.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
I need a cigarette.
Okay, we'll get you another one, okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Donald.
I really appreciate you cooperating. We'll let your family come right back in. Okay? Would you like the heat on?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll turn the heat on for you. And we'll get you down. We'll get you in and out as quick as we can, okay?
Yeah.
Thanks
again, Donald.
You can obviously tell from the situation altogether, it's a very unfortunate situation that I don't even think Papachu has a full grasp of. But you're probably wondering actually what happened after he got arrested and booked in. Well, after getting booked, he was initially released on bond. Unfortunately though, he actually wasn't allowed to go back home, according to Mamachu and Tophiachu. Ever since Papachu actually ended up getting out of the jail, he's been staying at his shelter in order just to get by. For some reason, Tophiachu and Mamachu are not letting him come back home, but they're screaming all over the internet that they can't wait to see him. So there is some kind of disagreement there that they're not trying to really portray on the internet to let us all know. But either way, I honestly think that Papachu getting a little break and going to jail probably did him a little good, because as much as a toxic environment that he creates, I want to believe that he's influenced to create this toxic environment by the toxic environment that he surrounded at home. I don't know for sure if Mamachu, Tophiachu, or Brother Chu actually treat Papachu with any type of respect, because that does make the difference. But regardless of the factual reasons that Mamachu and Tophiachu are kind of playing with Papachu and his whole situation at the moment, it's sad that we can't really see a family come together against the world to try to basically better their situation. The way that I like to view family is that when everybody is basically band together and we're kind of surviving off each other, we're all in a boat, we're all a train, and we're all kind of a team. So everybody helps everybody. So if somebody in the team is drowning, then it kind of drowns the rest of the boat. I at least like to think of it like that, because I wouldn't want to let anybody in my family left behind. But that's because I have a really deep care for my family, and I don't ever want to see them in any negative light. But obviously Papachu and Tophiachu don't have that kind of relationship, because you can see throughout many TickToks over the internet, they bicker and bitter against each other, and it just seems like they don't have a good relationship in general. This could be due to many factors, both of them surviving off of controversy and thriving off of just hate and problems. I would imagine that a person that is constantly going through controversies on a daily basis, it's very hard to be happy and normal within your own life. So I'm not saying that Papachu getting arrested and going to jail was a good thing, but I think that it was a really good break from the toxic environment that he has surrounded himself with at home. It seemingly looks like it did put him in a better light too. I don't know if he's enjoying his time at the family shelter, but it does seem like he is in better spirits away from this whole family and dramatic scene. Last but not least, hopping into Tophiachu's TikTok herself, she has been absolutely diving herself into controversies that she initially started herself. To understand the responses that she's currently giving, you have to understand the initial problem. And to begin to understand that, you have to first understand that Tophiachu was absolutely happy. She was ecstatic when she ended up becoming a full-time content creator by joining TikTok Live.
With that being said, social media is now my full-time job. And for those people that said social media was never going to be a job for you, oh, it is now. We are there. I worked hard for this. I worked hard. I'm gonna have a manager. I'm gonna have lawyers. The whole nines. So, any videos that I do not like, I could copyright strike them. You harass me?
As you can see, she was pretty proud of this moment, telling everybody off and telling everybody to go one. This was the moment she finally gained something she'd been working very hard for, her full-time content creator license. Going live was the significant change that allowed her to actually gain a stable source of income through TikTok Live, and that's eventually how she started paying her bills and her rent. Unfortunately, while streaming one of these TikTok Lives, she was playing a game, and this game is called Sims. And during this Sims game, you play as humans going through your daily lives, and during these daily lives, you're able to make a bunch of decisions. One of these decisions is able to make babies. Now keep in mind, Tophiachu already had a baby in this game, so she was playing the game with two of her Sims in bed and the baby in the crib right next to the bed. Now, the accusation for her actually losing her live permissions was because in terms of the Sims game, she was forcing the parents to woo-hoo in front of the child. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. That is, what is that? That's nothing. Yeah, I agree with you, but TikTok is very weird when it comes to the content they allow and don't allow on their platform.
The prayers aren't working. People are standing in a fucking great adventure prayer line for God to get back to them. God damn it. 3 weeks. Where's the prostitute, man?
Very weird. Because somebody probably reported her live for inappropriate content, she ended up getting a strike for this. Now I know what you're thinking. How can one strike from one live completely take away her permissions to go live altogether? Well, this strike wasn't her only strike. She actually had a multitude of strikes from previous content that she just completely ignored and continued to do no matter what. Eventually, this strike was basically the nail in the coffin, the needle in the haystack, the straw that broke the camel's back. This was the last straw, and she lost her TikTok live permissions.
So you guys, they took my live stream access, I appealed it, and they took it. So now I can no longer go live ever again. I was just playing Sims. I don't know. I was just playing Sims. I wasn't even doing anything. I was just playing Sims. And they got me for youth something. Like, can anyone help me get my live stream back? Can someone please talk to TikTok? Because this is ridiculous. All I was doing was gaming and playing Sims. I kept getting violations after violations just for playing Sims. And for playing Dress to Impress and GTA. And I can't even do gaming because they kept giving me violations. And then they gave me this that says you'll no longer be able to go live. And it was a guideline that was so, like, what did I do? I didn't even do anything.
I want you guys to keep in mind on the fact that Tophiachu used her live stream as her main source of income. Big bucks came from TikTok Live.
Like, I was just literally playing Sims. Like, TikTok, this is ridiculous. This is very ridiculous. Like, I need my live streaming back. I worked hard for my subscribers. Like, this is crazy. This is insane. You allow the worst, horrible people on this app. But for me, you take my live streaming access away. I go live every day and I work hard. Like, this is crazy. This is not okay. I'm not okay. Like, I'm not. I need my live streaming access back. I need it back. I don't care what anybody has to say in the comments being rude. I don't care if people laugh or applaud it. I really need my live streaming access back.
Now that we actually have a grasp of how important TikTok live monetization was for her, jumping into the first response video, she's responding to another content creator trying to give her advice on how to actually monetize her current content in the state that her current TikTok is in. And instead of actually listening to this content creator, whether or not the advice is good or not, she then tries to pull another content creator under the bus by giving examples on how everybody is treating her unfairly compared to anybody else.
I've been harassed, I've been doxxed, I'm a very controversial person. If Caleb did say that in his video, which I didn't watch because, you know, I tend to not go back and forth with people with the negativity because of my mental health. What I do want to say is it's not as easy as Caleb is making it, okay? And he doesn't understand when someone is controversial, okay, so a white person like Only J.S. who was racist, people forgot quickly what she did. There are white people on this app, and we've seen it time and time again, and I don't want people to say, why do you always make it about race? Because it is. White people, 100% of the time, they forget what a white person has done versus what a person of color has done. They will constantly remind you, they'll constantly harass you, they'll constantly dox you, stalk you, attack you, whatever the case may be. They haven't stopped for almost 5 or 4 years with me. They have not stopped. People have made discords. People have sent random men to my door. People have even went so far as to DoorDash. People have swatted me not once, but 7 times. I've been swatted. Well, actually, 6 or 7 times. I can't really remember. They've went so far as to make fun of my father's mental illness. They've brought up my dead relatives, including my sister that was born dead, that was a stillborn. They constantly are rude to my mother, who lost her mother, mind you, which is why people say she talks about dead relatives, but in hindsight, they talked about my dead relatives first. These people leave nasty messages. They're very racist. They call me the N-word. They tell me that I should get strange fruited. If you don't know what strange fruiting is, look that up, because it's TikTok PG-13 or PG terms. Literally telling me that I should practice with a rope. You know, they've said all of this stuff. It's not as easy as Caleb is trying to say to switch my platform or monetize my platform in that way, because the issue being is that people do not care. I've made videos doing food reviews and people are still rude. I do TikTok shop reviews where I get stuff from the TikTok shop and I buy it with my own money, like the makeup palettes and stuff. I do makeup on live streams and people are still rude. It only takes like hours sitting on my live, which some of you guys don't have hours to sit on a live because you got real lives. You've got jobs, you're busy. I don't expect people to sit there for a 5 or 10 hour live stream, however long I go live for. So I do understand people have a life. But if you take the time to sit in the live streams to see exactly what I go through, you will realize that people will just start stuff out of nothing. I'll be sitting there doing makeup and they'll mention someone like Shorty Bae and be like, why are you so obsessed with Shorty Bae, after they just brought up Shorty Bae to me.
While I can have sympathy and empathy for a person in unfortunate circumstances, although you put yourself in those circumstances, you lose all credibility for me when you start bringing race into anything. Because I understand that in society today, some races have advantages above others. I don't think so, but hey, sue me. I think the situation here is more of she's just seeing everybody in these non-controversial situations and how they're doing so much better than her. How no matter what she actually does, no matter how hard she actually tries, no one's gonna give her an authentic chance and everybody's just always gonna remember her for the controversies that her put herself into. As much as I wanna feel bad for you kind of boxing yourself in this social corner, you did this to yourself.
And said that, oh, Shorty Bae's better than you. They'll do things like, I'll just be sitting there gaming, and they'll complain about the game I'm playing. Play something else. I'll just be gaming, and then they'll just start saying stuff because they want me to speak and then call it a rant, or they want me to, like, crash out, and that's not going to happen. See, these people have a tendency of doing stuff like this when I'm just doing positive stuff, right? I literally sat and did makeup. I do makeup on lives and people are still in the comment sections being rude. I literally lost my main live stream on this account because I was playing Sims. People literally said I deserved to lose my account for playing Sims. They falsely report me a lot of the time for bullying and harassment when sometimes I just speak my mind because I'm frustrated. People don't take the time to get to know me or understand my situation. If you sat in a live stream for hours, you would understand exactly what really goes on. These people don't tell you what really goes on my live streams. A lot of the times my lives are sub only because people are being rude and spamming my comments. Musty bitch is what they comment all the time, or they comment COCK, which is a frequent comment in a lot of people's live streams I've seen. It's a new comment spam that they do in people's live streams. Or they'll find something else to mass comment in my comments. I can't see other people's comments, so I have to tend to go and subscribe. I could make money, right? But the way that Caleb probably described it is not easy. I'm sorry. I could take his advice, but that advice is not good considering if you're one of the most hated people on this app. You can't just monetize when people are beating down on you and not letting you get up. that's a problem.
Now, the first thing I want to say before we actually get into anything is do not harass her. As much as everybody doesn't like her, doesn't like the antics that she does, doesn't like the past actions that she does, doesn't like her family in general, as much as people don't like her, don't harass her. You honestly have to be a pretty big damn loser to go out of your way to open an app, search up her name, go click on a video and comment something mean. Do you know how much energy it takes to actually be rude and just mean? Not saying she doesn't deserve it. Not saying it's not in the right place, because she is a very controversial person that has hurt a lot of people. So I'm not saying that she doesn't deserve it. But what I don't think people actually deserve is days, weeks, months to years of actual harassment, and they feel like they can't move on from their lives. I don't support Tophiachu in the slightest. I think she's actually going to continue making these detrimental mistakes and still not understanding the actual depth of these mistakes. But one thing that I know damn well for sure is that she is never going to be able to start to improve, to start to grow, to start to gain any type of process of becoming a better person if literally the world is constantly berating her, telling her how much of a crappy person she is. I don't like her, but I do feel bad for her on a certain level, because I have made mistakes. I have made tremendous amount of mistakes. And if we were all to put our mistakes in a pile, I'm pretty sure mine would be the biggest and the dirtiest. But the reason she's talking about her being unable to monetize anything is because the majority of her money came from TikTok gifts and monetization. So seems like not only her TikTok lives were demonetized, but her TikToks in general were demonetized. That's why she has a couple of backup accounts. Now, the last video we're actually be diving in today is her response to a lot of the pedophilia accusations that she's been dealing with. The reason all these pedophilia accusations are actually coming up in the first place was because during one of her live streams, while she was trying to show everybody something on her phone, she accidentally turned it to the side in landscape mode. And when she did that, the search engine on her app revealed the other tabs within the search engine, and one of those tabs was actually Asian teen corn. You could probably. Yeah. So ever since this clip was released into the wild, it's been getting thousands of views, and everybody has been berating her, calling her an actual pedophile, because she is a 30-year-old woman searching up inappropriate content that you watch for your own pleasure. But stick in your own age group. Come on.
Hey guys, so I'm coming on here because I want to bring awareness to this account, right? They had so much people in their live stream talking about calling me a pedo, being so angry, being so mad, gifting this person, literally saying that one of the people said I blocked them because they spent $25. Like, I don't really care about $25. If you're being negative and rude, I'm just gonna block you, because I don't need to, like, have you on my page if you're negative and rude. You're just gonna get blocked. I didn't block you because you spent $25. I blocked you because you're rude. But let's get into it. This right here is the official Roach Chula. If you don't know, Roach Chula is a troll account that literally got banned off of TikTok. TikTok said, we had enough of your stuff. We are sick and tired of you. Actually banned them. And then they come back on TikTok and don't learn their lesson, because TikTok banned them before. So why are you coming back on the internet? Mind you, I have my backup account, and I know people are going to mention about my live stream getting permanently banned. TikTok's leaving in January, so these people better find something else better to do than to talk about me on a live stream and have all the washed up people up there like Tophiachu, who literally screamed at his phone and screams and gets angry and mad and crashes out every time he even comes in contact with me or sees me, which on that live stream he was. I'm not saying on the live right now, or it's not going to be right now, because when I post this, they probably won't be live, but basically is everywhere and threatened to beat me in the streets. I believe that's the one. And was literally screaming at his phone and got banned till Thanksgiving, and had the nerve to say that he has family that he could sit at a table and eat Thanksgiving with. Like, if being classist to someone is crazy, but in the reason why they know where I was staying, so, and I still had Thanksgiving, thanks to a supporter of mine who literally told us that we could get Thanksgiving at Denny's, that you could order a Thanksgiving meal, which is what we did. So Roach Chula here was defending Leslie being a predator by saying that because Leslie told them all that they squashed their beef, that they squashed it, that literally it's okay, that people should not be talking about Leslie being a predator because Leslie squashed it with her accuser when that's a lie. Because I talked to Leslie accuser in the DM who asked me to help him expose Leslie because not only did he lose his account, but he was losing his voice because he got so sad and upset at the fact that people was supporting Leslie in my Instagram, which I got mad and blocked people that was defending Leslie and almost was in tears in DMs literally asking me to help expose Leslie because he lost his voice and he lost the platform, but yet they want to take someone's platform away, like Roach Chula literally wants to take the voice away from someone who was a victim of Leslie. Now let's get into this video because Reddit exposed Roach Chula, and I'm going to show you this video right now.
There's not, that is true, but back then, I learned from my mistakes. I apologized to him multiple times, and he was like, "You know what, Leslie? I'm not going to press charges on you. I'm not going to do it." So she's just bringing up stuff that's like dead and gone. Yeah.
Well, it's because she has nothing else to use against Leslie. Like she got nothing.
Like, yeah, it's wrong, but if you and the other person squashed it and you've learned from it and you moved on, and it's a known thing, why keep bringing it up?
Exactly. It's very weird.
Like with her, it's current. It's very much current, relevant stuff that we're bringing up about her. It's not.
Roach Chula, who was at the bottom, you could clearly see that's Roach Chula's account. That's the account that probably got banned. How do you squash being a predator and saying, like, it's bad, because she just admitted to y'all she was a predator, a pedo, and you said, like, it's bad, but you squashed it and you learned from it. You don't learn from being a predator. Mind you, she didn't learn because then she proceeded to post another video where she says she was in love with someone who was underage, but she couldn't be because they were underage. And she continuously kept on. And not only that, I received proof from other people pretending to be minors that literally received nudes from her on Snapchat after this whole incident. So clearly she didn't learn because she continuously kept doing it.
God, okay, so this is literally like a rotten egg pointing at another rotten egg and being like, you're rotten. This makes absolutely no sense because in the argument she's trying to make to us, she's trying to basically downplay her situation and her accusations of being a pedophile and trying to basically give us the idea on how there's other people out there doing so much worse things than her. But when I think of the concept of pedophilia, for me, there are no levels to pedophilia. If you have any type of inkling or notion or interest or wanting to do with anything underage, I would classify that as pedophile or pedophile tendencies. So regardless of if she actually met the child, had contact with the child, or touched the child, she still was watching inappropriate content that she shouldn't have been watching.
She kept on. She didn't learn. She's still doing it. And I will post more proof because it is very funny to me how we say people who constantly have interactions with minors learn. Did James Charles learn after being called out? No, he continued to do it again. So let's not sit here and act as if these people can just learn not to do that when Leslie continues to keep doing it. Hey, Roach Chula, I want you to see this because this is recent, okay? This is a recent live stream. Clearly, by your words, Leslie has learned to not be a predator. By what you said, right? She's learned, okay? This is a recent live stream I'm going to show you. This is her learning to not be a predator.
Oh, are you leaving me?
Yeah, because you're being a bitch.
I'm not being a bitch. You should probably stop touching little boys and girls, just so you know.
I don't.
No, that's not true. I actually seen a lot of videos on you recently.
Wow, oh my god, that is recently. And that's on Leslie Snark Reddit page. Wow, Roach Chula, you really have a good judge of character when it comes to people. They are clearly learning to not be a predator. You know what's one thing that I know, and this is crazy, is the fact that certain family members don't want her around their children because she is a predator. I've heard this from someone that actually knows. They said her family members don't want her around them because she is a known predator. Address that. How do you learn to not be a predator but can't even see family members because of what you've done? Good one. Also, hey, Roach Chula, do you condone someone calling CPS and the cops on Pleasant? Because Leslie admitted she did that. And mind you, I understand what Pleasant has done to her kid. I'm not defending that, but CPS, the system, is not for children. That's why people don't call CPS, because it's only going to put the child back into an abusive system. And there are actual people that have been in the system that have confirmed this to be true. But I'm going to play this video for you.
I called the cops and CPS on Pleasant Bird.
Like, did you think before you did that? Considering the fact that the system does not care about children, there has been multiple children that have been trigger warning unalived where I lived because the system sent them back to their abusive households.
This whole disagreement with Roach Chula or Leslie or whoever the hell it is completely redundant and pointless because of the fact that both of the people that are calling each other out are both
predators.
Tophiachu is really trying to portray herself as some type of martyr by exposing Leslie or Rochellachu or whoever the hell it is. But the actual reason for her exposing other people for their actual pedophilia is because she's trying to downplay her situation even more. She's trying to show everybody else on how there's so much more worse things out there than what she did. But in all reality, I don't believe in the different levels of pedophilia. I'm sorry. I think that if you honestly have any interaction or any type of wanting of an interaction with anything that has to do with anything underage, I think you can kind of consider yourself a little weirdo and a pedophile. I don't want to say that her calling out everybody else's accusations is wrong, but I think that the reason that she is doing it in the first place is counterintuitive to what she's actually trying to achieve. The only thing that she is achieving by bringing attention to all these other people's problems and pedophilia accusations, she's bringing even more attention to herself, regardless of the situations that she's trying to portray herself as or she's trying to put in. I think it's very sad and detrimental to her self-progress that she can't literally stop, stare at herself, or try to really evaluate the actions that she's doing, because without this evaluation skill, you can't progress. You can't honestly, authentically look at the problems that you have and fix them on an individual level, because that is the skill that I can honestly see her having. She addresses her life as one whole thing, and honestly, when anybody addresses anybody's life as a whole, it's super overwhelming, and no, you physically think that you can't do anything to this grand scheme of a life. That's why she has to set small, achievable goals, not exposing everybody on the internet. In all reality, I think that Tophiachu has her own ability for her redemption. She will never be able to redeem herself in my eyes, or more likely society's eyes, anytime soon, or probably ever, because she lost Hunter. I will never forgive you for that. But as in regarding of yourself progression, you can definitely start to improve yourself by simply addressing the problems that you refuse to address. One of them being your constant need for attention online. Personally, I think that's your biggest detriment out of everything that anybody has ever said about you, is that you crave attention. And as much as people do crave attention online, and being a content creator is the dream job for everybody else, you had that opportunity and you lost that opportunity, and you need to come to terms and start to actually figure out what your next step is. Because from what it seems like, this whole saga, this whole situation, all this information that you're putting out, it just seems like you're putting off life because you don't want to deal with the actuality of your consequences. You don't want to deal with the fact that you will probably never be able to become a full-time content creator again. You don't want to deal with the reality that your reputation is probably absolutely destroyed all over the internet and you will never get that back. And as much as I want to feel bad and I want to have sympathy and I want to have empathy, you did this completely to yourself. All of this could have been avoided if you only had a little bit of humility. If you were able to understand that you aren't the shit, if you were able to understand that there are people above you and there will always be people above you and better than you, then you can actually start to understand the right and correct steps that you need to take as an individual, as a person, to start to literally progress the bar, the health bar, the progression bar, the loading bar, whatever it is, you need that understanding to start that. And without it, you're just gonna be lost in time. And as sad as I wanna say, you already 30. You already lost a significant amount of time. I'm 24. I'm not one to judge, you know, I got a lot of time under my belt, but I've also spent a lot of time doing a lot of dumb shit. So I'm not really one to judge when it comes to people doing whatever they want in the time that they have, in the situations that they're dealt with. But from what it seems, the goal that you are trying to achieve, being a full-time content creator again, telling everybody they could off and basically being the boss girl that you were previously, I personally think that you need to reevaluate what you actually want in life, because that previous wanting of being a full-time content creator, you had it and you lost it. And as much as it sucks to deal with the actuality and reality of the situation, you will not, or more likely probably will never be able to get that full-time content creator back. And I think understanding that is the first step into starting that whole progression that I talked about. I don't hate you, Tophiachu. I fucking hate what you, I hate the actions that you choose to do as an individual, as a person. I still believe that you are able to, on an individual level, start to progress and better yourself and start to see yourself in a better light. In society's terms, I can't tell you. A lot of people don't like you and a lot of people make fun of you. Personally, I don't really care about you. I don't see you in the negative light, but evaluating the decisions that you make and the choices that you choose, you make a lot of dumb decisions. And well, I personally think that you need to step away from social media and try to reevaluate what you actually want in life. I can't tell you what you want. Who knows? But hey, I hope you figure it out. All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This video is gonna be absolutely terrible to put together, but I wanna remind you guys, I am a brand new content creator. I literally started commentary. I think like this is my 17th, maybe 18th video of commentary. Besides the Tophiachu family, besides everything she's ever done, there is actually worse couples all over TikTok. And if you wanna see one of those couples, click right here to see a crazy story about a couple. Enjoy this preview of that clip that is shown on screen right now, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. See you later.
Stop. Stop. See, that's why I'm recording. Because the cops ain't gonna believe this shit.